It's been a long time since the last time we started this class, all right? And I'm just going to take this opportunity, especially to refresh our last lesson, the one we're trying to cover. It was unit number 5, shopping, okay? And I remember in this lesson, we were talking about things that we buy, like, things that when we go shopping, we can find in a store, things that we can find somewhere we're going to buy something, all right? Then, like I said before, so we were covering this exercise, or I'm sure we did. So we covered this vocabulary over here, such as, can you hear me? Okay, we covered this vocabulary. We also covered this vocabulary such as bakers, okay, pharmacy, or chemist in British English. So we also covered this. Estate agents are well known in American English as real estate agency. In addition to this, we talk about the garden center, which is a greenhouse for us here in America. All right. That was part of the vocabulary we saw before. Greengrocers, all right, a sort of market. Okay, the chemists and the butchers, the news agents, all right. So we cover all this. We also practice with these exercises, etc., etc. So we cover a big part of it. So now we are going to be working with the next unit, the next lesson, all right? And that'll be especially unit number 2, all right? Lesson number 2, which is this one, all right? Grammar. And in order for us to talk about grammar, all right, we're gonna be talking about the present perfect in English, all right? So let me show you something. So something I would like you to do before we do this exercise, I'd like you to read this email. Actually, this is an email in our inbox, which I want you to read for me. Can you please go ahead and read this email for me?
Hi, Kayla. We
So,
are having.
sorry, I could not listen to you.
Hi, Kayla. We have been in Manchester since 9:30 this morning. We have been to every food shop in the city, and Mom has tried on the million pair of suit, but she hasn't found any. I have been here in this coffee for an hour. Mom has gone to the closest shop opposite. He hasn't stopped shopping since we got here. But I have had enough. I have bought a present for you. It's surprise.
A
Lots
surprise.
of,
It's a surprise.
it's a surprise. Lots of love, Alice. P.S. Has John answered for my email address.
Okay, fantastic. So now we look at this. So what we are going to do first, here we have a multiple choice, which I want you to choose the correct option. All right, and let me ask you something. Has Alice bought a present for her mom, herself, Kyla, or Joey?
I think uh, Kayla.
Okay,
She,
so let's
Kayla.
let's just check the answer. That's Kyla. Well done. Great job. It's still French. Well done. So look at that. So this is a grammar chart. In my opinion, very important. Okay, I will explain you something in regards of this grammar chart. Especially to compare tenses, all right? To compare tenses in English. Look at this. So present simple, present perfect simple. So how do we use this? Especially when we connect the present with the past tense. Here we have some examples. Can you read this one for me?
Mm, are you like we have
I
decided?
have
I
decided.
have decided.
You
You
have
have finished.
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 All right. And let's see what's happening here. So you have the conjugation of the verb have, which is in present. But however, you have here the main verb, which is in past participle, meaning that by using the present perfect tense in English, ni, so you're going to be using two tenses. One is the present and the past participle. So there we have also some examples. Let me tell you specifically where are we supposed to use the present perfect in English, especially when we want to state or specify how long something was taken, all right, or how long something has been taken. When we want, all right, to talk about unfinished time word, especially when we talk about present results, all right, news or recent events, or maybe life experiences. So I'm gonna show you some examples over here, Ning. So you can use the context, you can see the context, all right, of how to use, all right, how to use the present perfect. First one, if you want to refer about how long, or refer about the time, we have the first example over here. Look at this. She lived in London, all right? She lived in London for 3 years. You see, here is specifying about the time. She lived in London for 3 years. So here's another example. Okay, this one up there, this one right here. Can you read it for me?
I have not current since 1994. Since
Okay.
lived,
Oh, I'm sorry.
since lived in London for 3 years.
Oh, she lived, all right, in
It's,
London
yeah, I forgot.
for 3 years. Look at this. Here is a contraction, which means a reduction of the present perfect of, and especially using the verb have, which is part of the structure. Instead of saying I have none, then you will pronounce this as there is a contraction or a reduction as I've. I've known Karen since 1994. I've known Karen since 1994. Understand that, Nee?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So let's proceed to another example. I am going to explain you something else over here. All right. So unfinished time word. All right. Unfinished time word. Look at this. Can you read this for me? I haven't.
I haven't seen her this month.
I haven't, or I have not. I haven't seen her. All right. I haven't seen her this month. So, which means that because the person has not been able to see the other, which means there is like something that has not been completed, something that is not yet concrete. All right. Therefore, since this action or this situation is unfinished, we also use the present perfect simple. All right. This is another way to use it. The number two. Okay. So do you understand everything so far?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, fantastic. It makes me feel very happy. Now let's go ahead with the third example. Look at this. Especially if you want to talk about results, outcomes, all right? If you're gonna refer about results, so in this case, we are or referring to a present result, so we can use this. The present perfect simple, all right, like that. I've lost my keys. Okay, I've lost my keys, which means that this is something that happens to you, and as a result, it's going to bring a cause. That there will be a cause, but also there will be, because of this cause, there will be an effect. You know what I mean? Things like that. Look at this. I love my keys, so I can get into my house, which means because the person has loved his keys, all right. What is gonna be especially the result of this? The person will not be able to enter the house, which means that is another context. All right. So there is something that happens and an effect. When it happens, when there is something like that in the context of a conversation, it's recommended to use the present perfect. Like, I have lost my keys. I love my keys. I have lost my car. I have damaged my car. I will need to buy a new battery. I have ha I have well, I have damaged, I have broke my phone screen. All right. I have broke my phone screen. Well, I will need to buy another phone. You know, it's like whenever there is a cause and effect, all right, conversation or interaction, you are allowed to use, or is very good to use the present perfect tense. Do you understand this part? Okay, so this is the third example. Example number four. So let's talk about news or recent events. All right. Especially if you're talking about something that recently happened, you can also use the present perfect simple. Look at this. Here are some examples. The queen, can you read it?
The Queen has given a speech.
A speech. All right. The queen has given a speech. What's happened here in the context of this example? Is staying is this as example, it states that the queen, all right, the queen in that case has given a speech. Apparently it seems to be in the past, all right, but something that happens recently, something that was not too long ago. Otherwise it would have been like, the princess gave a speech, and that's it. But since there is something that seems to be that ended up not too long ago, apparently, as it looks in the example, so we use it this way. That is it, the example number four. Now let's continue with example number five. Okay, can you read the example number five?
I,
I've
I, I've been to Tokyo.
I've been to Tokyo, and then you can also, it's optional, it's up to you. You can use ever or never. For example, I never been to Tokyo. Or if you're gonna ask questions, have you ever been to Tokyo? So you can do it this way. So now that I explained this to you, can you re-explain to me just to check your understanding what I'm saying? Can you explain to me the five examples in which you can use the present perfect simple? Or can you give me one example of each one? You can substitute this information. You can like replace the information that is there.
I, uh, I have,
Okay, I have.
I have finished. I have finished um, my homework.
Okay, now I'm not listening well. If you could please speak up, me. I will highly I will highly encourage you to speak up.
I
See,
have finished
okay,
my homework
my homework.
uh, today.
I have finished my homework today. It's like, yeah, it's like just a coordination. For example, you can see today, because it's more like to use in the past, because the
Yeah.
context of there is a past, but it's a recent part past. Like, you know, I have finished the homework. I have finished the homework yesterday, or I have finished the homework, so I can go to the park. That could be okay. A good example. If you're gonna specify time, you will need to use the actually the word since. All right, since. For example, since I came here in 2011, all right, I became a better English teacher. For example, all right, that is a good example. So what about the other one? Unfinished time word. What about this one? Can you make up an example?
Mm,
Any idea?
I I have I have been to uh,
How do
I
I
have
say it?
ever I
Pourquoi?
have ever been to Nha Trang.
Okay, fantastic. So that's the way it is. That's the way how we use these examples. So now we are going to continue. I will encourage you to read it. Look at this. Here we have this exercise. Obviously, I know that before we went back to this email, we already read this email. It's gonna be optional to you. I would like you to help me completing this exercise. We are going to read the email again and complete the examples in the table. All right. So in addition to this, knee, all right, once we complete this exercise, there is something else I will explain to you in regards of in regards of the use of have for the present perfect or present perfect simple. So for this exercise, do you think you will need some time to analyze the information, or you can do it right away all at once? What is your opinion?
I can do that now.
Fantastic. It makes me feel very happy. Okay, so let's see here. With, with,
We've been in Manchester since 9:30 in the morning.
okay, mom.
Mom has tried on a million pair of shoes.
Okay, mom has tried in Manchester since 1930 this morning. Mom has tried, right, on a million pair of shoes. So what is the next one? The negative statement. She hasn't.
She hasn't bought
Okay,
any.
look at that. Let me show you. She hasn't bought any. So let's see the interrogative form. How do you do that?
Has has just asked for my email address.
Okay, has Joey, okay, has Joey asked my email address? That is correct. Look at this. Now let's go to our learn this box, all right? So I want you to see this. This is the learn this box. And especially here, it states how to use it. We use the present perfect to talk about recent events and to give news, all right? We use the present perfect, all right, to talk about recent events and to give news. All right, look at this example. Can you read it for me?
We all we use the present perfect to talk about recent event and to give news. Have you heard Sally is passed her driving test to wait for Austin to say how long the situation has existed. I have to what since Christmas.
Okay, look at this. Look at this example, all right? There you have a question. Have you heard? And then the answer is Salis passed her driving test. All right. Apparently, not too long ago, it was in the past, but not too long ago, the person discovered or came across or found this news. Because of this, then we are supposed to use the present perfect tense. Here are the other example. On the other hand, all right. So we have with for or since. It's usually the way how we use it. All right, with for and since, just keep this in mind. All right, with for and since to say how long the situation has existed. Look at this here. I've had this watch. I have this watch since Christmas. All right, this is another example of this using the present perfect. Sometimes it requires a lot of practice, like for many students to get familiar with, but once you get used to it, Nyan, and I mean, so that's a piece of cake. Look at that. We are going to have a conversation. This is an interaction, all right? We are going to use the present perfect form of a verb in bracket. So, and after that, we are going to complete the exercise with information, all right? It's important to use the logic to come across with the meaning. Let's see here. Hi, Alice.
Have you left the coffee? Cafe.
Okay, let's see here. Have you left? Right, the cafe. Now, the cafe is a kind of like a restaurant, but where people can take cappuccinos, cafe, all right, things like that. All right, black coffee, things like that. Like, I don't know if you have there in Vietnam. Do you know a franchise that is there? Well, I don't know if it's there, in fact. But do you know a coffee franchise that is well known as Starbucks? Do you have that in
Yeah,
Vietnam?
yeah,
So that is
many.
very much like that. I think I'm not sure, but I think that Starbucks is a cafe. I think. All right. Let's continue. No, I'm still here. I
Have finished
okay.
in the
I
shop now.
finished. All right. I finished the shop now. That is correct. So let's continue. The next one.
Have you bought anything?
Have you bought anything? That is correct. Okay, what is the next one?
I have found a few little things.
Okay, I've found, all right, okay, I found a few little things. All right,
I uh, haven't spent
I
much
haven't,
money.
that's right. I haven't spent much, much money.
Much money.
Are you bored? No, I'm fine. I,
I have sent
okay,
a
a,
few emails.
a few emails. That is correct. Let's have lunch.
I haven't ate, no, eaten.
Eaten. That's right. I haven't eaten. All right. So let's continue.
I
Okay.
have had lunch. I have had lunch.
Okay, perfect. So that sounds good. That is correct. So look at that. I've had lunch. Sorry, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. All right. Good job. Let's continue. Now I want you to listen this conversation, especially the pronunciation. Look at that. Let me give me 1 second. It's going backwards. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, look at this here. Let me show you. Let me know if you can see it well. So now you may be able to listen to the conversation. Please make extra emphasis on this as we already completed the exercise.
Lesson 5B. Exercise 4.
Okay, listen, listen carefully.
The cafe? No, I'm still here.
Lesson 5B.
Okay,
Exercise 4.
Hi, Alice.
give me 1 second.
Have you left the cafe? No, I'm still here. I've finished in the shop now. Have you bought anything? I've found a few little things. I haven't spent much money. Are you bored? No, I'm fine. I've sent a few emails. Let's have lunch. I haven't eaten since 6 o'clock this morning. I've had lunch. Sorry, I couldn't wait.
Okay, me, I'm back. So, did you manage to listen the audio? Did you listen well the audio? Okay,
Yes, I can listen.
so now I have a question for you. What's going on in this conversation? What's happening? Can you tell me? Oh, I think there is a background. Can you tell me what is the interaction about in this conversation?
Mm,
Any idea?
no.
Okay, let me just explain to you what is this conversation about, all right? So here there is a conversation between Alice and her mom, all right? And the first thing the mother is asking her, all right, if she has already finished, all right, in the show up. As you see here, it's asking, it's answering. Actually, she was asking, she just answered that, all right? The Alice mom, all right? Alice mom, she just answered that. And then after that, Alice said, have you bought? Or Alice asked, have you bought anything? And then pretty much the conversation is based on uh the thing they were trying to buy and if they had enough time to buy these things, etc., etc., etc. That is what the conversation is about. Okay. So look out. Okay. So we already, okay, we saw the Alice email, all right? The previous email I showed you before. There are some examples that we need to find of being, gone, gone to, being as the past participle of be. So let me show you this. Look at this. Okay. So the thing is that the verb go has two parts, past participle. We have gone and been, And we use when somebody has gone away and not returned, which means this person never comes back. Or sometimes you will listen to somebody who passed, all right? Somebody who died, you will say like, hey, this person is gone or just gone. Maybe somebody was in a hospital and this person passed away. You will never see this person anymore. So you may say in English, you may say, oh, she's gone. She's gone. But also, if the person is going to leave a house, for example, the person is at home or his or her workplace, so you may be able to say, okay, for example, where is Ni? Well, I think Ni is gone, which means that there's a background, which means with that being said, Ni, so you are just saying that you left. You left the place. Do you understand that? Hello, Ning?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. So did you manage to listen the last part I was saying? Ni?
I can figure
Okay, let me just re-explain to you. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna repeat myself again. Let me know if you can hear me well. Okay, I was saying to you, all right, for example, how do we use gone to? Look at this. I was saying to you that in English we can use gone, all right, the way we use gone, especially when we are talking about situations that happens when somebody goes away or somebody went away or somebody's not going to return anymore. For example, you are taking classes, all right, and but during the day right now you're not going to be in the class anymore. Maybe you are going to come back some other day. Okay, so let me see. Let me know if you can hear me well.
no,
Okay, like for
in
example,
here.
can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I think it's breaking up, all right?
Yeah.
I cannot hear you very well. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, if you want, I will encourage you to, let me see. Can you hear me? Ni? Let me, I would like, if you can hear me, please. Ni? Ni, can you hear me?
I can hear.
Okay, can you hear me well now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, let me just share the screen to you.
Mm,
Look at this.
yes,
Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Okay, look at that. Oh, wow. Give me 1 second. Let me just put this here. What's happened? Okay, look at that. Let me just go back again to this topic. Okay, like I said before, I was saying to Uni that, for example, when somebody's gone, can you see me? Ni?
yes, I can see.
Okay, I see you're freezing. When somebody's not gonna be there anymore, at least for the day, or maybe the person passed away, the person dies, you can use gone. For example, look at this one. David isn't here. He's gone to the shops, which means since David is not gonna be anymore at home, all right, David's not gonna be there, then he just left. He just left. All right. He's he's gone. And usually when we okay. Can you hear me? Oh wow. I'm afraid that we have some technical issues. Oh my gosh. Can you hear me? I see the connectivity. Can you hear me? Okay, let's do something.
I
Let me
can't simply.
yeah, I can see you well. Now I will have to go to I'm gonna have look at this. Let's do something, all right? I will assign you this exercise. I'm gonna assign you the homework. I see the connection at the end of the class. It started. Can you hear me well? Okay. So what I'm gonna do, look at this. We are going to refresh this part for the next class. We are going to continue with the same topic we stayed. And I'm gonna give you as a homework the first exercises we practice so that you can practice with this and send me this as a homework. I would like you to send me this through Zalo, and this way we can see how good you do it. Would that be fine?